today's headlines here on ITV1. It's the lunchtime news.
Good afternoon, I'm Faye Barker. There are calls today asking more UK families to house more refugees from Ukraine. The Ukrainian ambassador to the UK has thanked all the families who have already taken part in the government's Homes for Ukraine scheme. But he says more help is needed, asking those who can to open their doors to displaced families. More than 100,000 refugees have benefited from the scheme so far. But as Charlotte Cross reports, some refugee housing plans have created tension in some communities.
Galina fled Ukraine with her daughter Kaleria last year. Emotional, she says the family in Orpington in Kent who took her in saved their lives.
Wonderful people, wonderful family. I know this was a safe place. I don't afraid about my life, my daughter.
We didn't want lodgers. We wanted people who would fit in with a family and be happy to do that. And that is exactly what we've got. I've gained a daughter and a granddaughter. They're just a joy to have around.
But not everyone is as happy. In the South Welsh town of Llantwit Major today, the group Patriotic Alternative held a protest against plans to build temporary housing for Ukrainian refugees on the site of a former school. A counter-protest was then organised by Wales Against Racism. But the UK government's position is clear. And as the first year of the Homes for Ukraine scheme comes to an end, leaders in both countries are hoping that host families will extend their sponsorship and that more will come forward.
We are grateful to His Majesty Government, to all the local councils, but mostly to all the families who opened up their homes, their hearts, sometimes wallets, to help Ukrainians who are fleeing from the horrors of war. Since the very beginning, you were shoulder to shoulder with us. Please stay with us. We need to feel your shoulder.
Meanwhile, this week, a stark reminder of the danger they left behind. Rescue workers in Zaporizhia search for survivors after a missile strike hit a block of flats. Those who escaped to safety in the UK know this is what's facing family and friends back home. Charlotte Cross, ITV News.
Hollywood actress Gwyneth Paltrow has denied in court that she caused a skiing accident in 2016. She said she felt very sorry for a man involved, but insisted that he had crashed into her. Terry Sanderson denies that and claims it was the other way round. He's suing her for more than £200,000, not a lot by American standards. What seems more at stake is her fight to clear her name and his battle to be proved right. Charlie Frost has the full story.
3 days into this trial, it was the Oscar-winning actress's turn to take to the witness box.
Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give in the case now before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Giving her account of the ski collision, which Terry Sanderson says left him with permanent brain damage.
And looking downhill, as you do, and I was skied directly into by Mr. Sanderson.
But while she says he hit her, he says she hit him.
And two skis came between my skis, forcing my legs apart, and then there was a body pressing against me, and there was a very strange grunting noise. So my brain was trying to make sense of what was happening. I thought, is this a practical joke? Is someone like doing something perverted? This is really, really strange. My mind was going very, very quickly, and I was trying to ascertain what was happening.
Okay.
Miss Paltrow later made it clear she wasn't saying what happened was sexual assault. Rather, it went through her mind for a split second when the crash happened. And it's the jury that will have to decide who is to blame for that collision that took place on the upmarket ski slopes of Park City in Utah in 2016.
While you stuck around, you never asked Mr. Sanderson if he was okay.
Correct, because he had hit me and I was very upset.
Mr. Sanderson is seeking damages of more than $300,000. Miss Paltrow is countersuing him, but she says it's not for money.
So I'm asking for $1 for me and then reimbursement of attorney's fees, which is a separate thing.
And that could be a substantial amount, correct?
Potentially.
Ms. Paltrow, isn't it true that you've misrepresented a number of things today to this jury?
Absolutely not.
No other questions.
Miss Paltrow's children are expected on the stand later in the trial. Charlie Frost, ITV News.
Here, two boys aged 14 and 16 have been remanded in custody after being charged with the murder of another teenager. 16-year-old Rohan Chand, who was known as Fred, was stabbed to death and died after an incident in Northampton on Wednesday. The two accused boys, who cannot be named because of their young age, will next appear at Northampton Crown Court on Monday. The 8 pallbearers who carried the late Queen Elizabeth's coffin have been honoured for the role they played at her funeral. They're among scores of royal aides and military personnel honoured for their roles during the period of national mourning. The RAF crew who flew her coffin from Scotland to London are also honoured, as are some of the late Queen's closest aides. They include Angela Kelly, who is her dresser, seen here on the right. She worked for the Queen for more than 25 years and has been made a Commander of the Royal Victorian Order. Finally, an asteroid big enough to wipe out a city will pass between the Earth and the Moon later on. Named 2023 DZ2, or Dizzy, the asteroid is estimated to have a diameter of between 40 and 90 metres. It's rare for an asteroid of this size to come so close, but the European Space Agency says there's no chance of it striking the Earth. We'll have more at 5:30. Until then, have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.